Hi, I'm back, and I'm gonna bring here with a friend today. All of us are live. Here you are, Dyan. I'm setting my intentions right now because this is straight no chaser on Check Your Privilege. Who's calling me now? They don't have to wait. Hey guys, here I come, Dyan. I just have to. Hey Tina, very hard day. Yeah. Here we go. Sage that I burn. It's not white sage. I know better. Hey, hey
Hey,
friend.
hey.
Look at you at the bottom. I see what's
Girl,
behind
I'm
you.
trying to send out stuff to my niece. I'm a little play nieces, so I'm headed to
Aw.
FedEx and all of that.
Um, I'm a black settler on indigenous land, and Lord, I'm a black settler on Ohlone land. Dyan, you are a black settler on Chumash land. And what are we talking about? Oh, a straight no chaser on Check Your
Listen,
Privilege.
I had to pull over so I can make sure I get my phone in the right place because I'm driving. And there's only one thing to talk about today.
Go for
Uh,
it.
Burn that shit down.
Wait, what we burning? Sage?
Okay, that too. Yo, there's nothing else to say. Burn it down. Y'all sat there, barricaded the city. If you caught my straight no chaser last night, I was talking about the fact that there was essentially this media blackout all night on what was going on in Louisville. And I was like, yo, I got a
Yep.
bad feeling in my gut that, not only did we see them preparing for the unrest, but we saw this when the president turned the troops on the protesters and they blacked out Washington, where there was no social media. We weren't really getting any information coming out for a few hours.
Right.
That happened last night in Louisville. So I'm very curious as to what was going on. I haven't done a lot of social media consumption because my initial response to their bullshittery is burn this shit down. Burn it down. We've been peaceful.
Pretty
We've been
much.
peaceful. We've been protesting. We've been silent protesting. We have written. We have called. Y'all have essentially still told us a big middle finger. Your life means nothing. And we'll do everything that we
Right.
can to protect
It's
white privilege before we prosecute murderers that are white.
exactly.
So that's how I feel.
And a lot of people that get it all out. I think for me, Malcolm X rings true for me, the ancestor. Like he said, the most disrespected woman in America is the black woman. And so I will say it's a hard day to be a black woman in a country that never has not wanted anything from you but your intellectual, emotional labor. And when it has no value, they should take our lives at any given moment. And yeah, I think they set this up when they made that announcement that they were putting the state under a state of emergency. The
Yeah.
city, they knew what was
Yes.
coming.
And they're
That's why they
waiting
were
and they're
preparing us,
preparing.
and they've never done that though, Dyan. They never tell us their move. They told us in advance.
Which to me is what made it so scary. I was like, they're telling us in advance, which means though that they are preparing. So I'm here, they being your government, your local police, those who have the power and the tools and the resources to strike back against people who are ill prepared to defend themselves in this way. I'm like, you guys
Exactly.
are preparing for something. Y'all can call state of emergency and martial law and send in fully equipped military style, basically to combat the people. Burn
Exactly.
that shit down. Burn it down.
And if you live in Louisville, you have to be careful how you protest because there's some new state legislature around protesting disruption of property that is a felony that can get you fined and imprisoned. So they know what they're
Mm-hmm.
doing. And it's election year. It's just all part of the matrix. So people are asking, what do we do? Well,
Is it okay to say for with all the solutions that you pose, we don't even know right now. I don't know. I don't know how to respond. It's too fresh and too emotional. And I think that we did have this glimmer of hope that there would be some type of justice. but y'all didn't even give justice for her life. You gave more justice to the walls that the bullets went through in other people's apartment than this innocent woman's life.
Exactly. Fact. Big fact. Big fact.
So the walls have more value and worth prosecuting because of the walls and the damage to the drywall than the person that y'all actually riddled with bullets. This human being, this beautiful woman who was minding her business.
Yep. It's about to be law and order, so the other person who's running for office, you know what time it is. If you are in the Co-Conspirators Lounge, I think we shared links of what you can do to take action. Fill your fields, mobilize, make a phone call. Like, it's the same script. It's a script now. It doesn't even feel good saying it. Make the phone calls. Donate to bail bond funds. Do y'all know how tiring it is to keep saying the same thing over and over again? Yeah. Make the phone calls. Advocate for political change. Give out the bail bonds. Look at Until Freedom. I just think it's just,
Today on this.
What do? You get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then what?
And again, initial response, maybe later I'll have more peaceful kumbaya, but I'm like, no. Because what we've been saying all along, for those who actually been listening, is you better be glad we don't want revenge. You better be glad we're just simply asking for justice. You better be glad we're simply asking for equality. We're not asking for revenge. We're not asking for anything back. Just stop murdering us in our sleep and then blaming it on us and our boyfriends, locking them in jail, trying to make them play. He's getting prosecuted more than the people who shot the wall.
Yep, pretty much.
Now y'all done said, well, her life meant nothing. So we ally for the walls. Louisville.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's you guys know what to do. Like, you've seen that every time we post a hashtag, we've told you how to mobilize. You know what you need to do. We know that we can't dismantle the master's house with the master's tools. Audre Lorde said that, not Maisha T. Hill. So what are you going to do? Why don't you put it in the comments? Because Malcolm X said by any means necessary, and I'm just going to be real with you. By any means necessary. We fight for injustice. We fight for justice. Black Lives Matter. Like, I don't even understand.
Sorry about that.
I don't understand.
And I can't read the comments because I'm driving, but I don't know if there's something.
Oh, there's comments. I'm just burning sage and not paying attention.
When I get home, that's gonna be the thing. I'm like, it's a sitting with something I'm gonna have to sit with my spirit in, because I'm like, yo, it's a few steps beyond anger right now. It's very many steps past hurt. It's very many steps past collective grief. Like, I think it should be a holy outrage. It should be, like, fueled.
It has to be. And peaceful, unjust BS in Kentucky. Let's just be honest. We can say that this is only in Kentucky, but we know that systemic racism and systemic anti-Blackness is a global. It's a global, not even a phenomenon, but it's global. So yeah, it's happening in Kentucky, but guess what? It can happen right here in good old California. In fact, it has. But what happens is the media silences the cases till we don't find out. Everyone thinks California is so liberal. No, California just has a lot of polite racists. You think you're woke, but you're actually a polite racist. But we're not going to go there either.
Please don't.
All the systems are. Go ahead.
Please don't let me forget his name. We still haven't gotten justice for the young man who was riding his bike. And I'm about to say his name wrong. What am I talking about? A couple weeks ago, that was in Los Angeles.
Oh, Dyan Kinsey.
Yes.
Kinsey in Los Angeles. He was riding his bike. He got chased, they shot and killed him. We don't hear his name in the media anymore. Why? And he's right here in California.
Black lives.
So the systemic law. Y'all, this has been happening since the invention of slave patrols. Slave patrols. I'm not Letty, but Letty, if you're watching, let me know if you had that podcast episode. But slave patrols were created for law and order for runaway slaves and has been reinforced in policies and systems and structures, and they just get duplicated over time until we defund the police
completely
and do what they're doing. In the one thing that the mayor of San Francisco is doing, she's taking some steps. Defund the police, putting some of the power into the people. This is just going to keep happening.
And that's the thing. It's just going to
And
keep
it's just the
happening.
harsh reality.
Yeah.
And after a while, you get tired of the same script.
So what do? We don't know. What, I mean,
Register to vote. A whole U.S. sit out. We don't work. We don't do nothing. That's what someone said. We don't go to work. We don't do anything for the economy. Well, guess what? If you are someone who is a marginalized, a Black woman, essential worker who has to work at a Safeway or Walmart because you got to pay your bills for your kids, you can't participate in the sit out. The system is set up the way it is for a reason. That is a good idea, though. So if you do have a really good job and you can do that, go for it. But then it leaves out the marginalized. It still leaves us out from the movement that we should actually be taking the lead in. So yeah, go after the police unions, dismantle them. Abolishing the police, defund the police, Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm not reading. That's a blocked lesson report. I think that's it.
We're tired, y'all. We've been tired. We're beyond that. You keep backing people. Go ahead.
I don't even want to watch the news. I'm not going to watch the news today. I'm actually going to be logging out.
So probably social media and all of that. And go hug your kids a little tighter. Because as a mother, like even with them giving her mother what is essentially, hush money, you can't get your child back. And you know what our government could do with $12 million in terms of healthcare progression, education, reform, and just Louisville alone. What y'all should have did was not shot her. How about that? But then you're going to shoot her and then spit in our face. Because that's what this feels like. This is just literally spitting in our face. Like, shut up. Y'all thought you mattered. You thought you was doing something. You have not.
We took all the steps in the right direction. Everything is in writing. We read all of the reports in writing. And the grand jury just thinks that, well, who was on the grand jury?
That's what I'm wondering.
I can't wait till they get their spot on the Today Show, or they're going to get something out of it for coming forward as a member of the grand jury. I'm burning all types of evidence.
You got to do it, girl. And I'm shaking my head, Maisha, because this was the one that I think, again, so many of us were banking some type of hope on, because Ahmaud Arbery, still no justice. George Floyd, still no justice. Breonna Taylor, no justice. And so now it's just like, we're not going to do that. Essentially what the government and the police and our Congress and our Senate, these powers that be who are looking at us and laughing, are spitting in our faces and saying, y'all can keep doing all that, but this is what we're going to do. Here's the value. We said what we said. We're going to do what we're going to do. And y'all have no choice but to suck it up. And we, the people, have to figure out how much more of that we're going to take. We, the people, have to really, and I'm like, for those who are watching outside of America, I feel like we're living in the biggest joke in history as a nation that is allegedly so great. But the precedent that they are setting is that racism is what this country was built on. Racism is what keeps this country going, and they will protect that at any cost. By any means necessary. They will protect it by any means necessary, but we're not supposed to do the same for ourselves. We're not supposed to do the same.
No, we are not allowed to disrupt.
Yeah.
Nope. I know. It was like, what do we do? Like, I think the last live kind of gives you some what you can do.
Yeah.
If you work for a company, I almost said tech company, maybe you should any company where you're working right now, maybe you should advocate for Black folks to have the rest of the day off.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine what it would be like having a corporate America job and then getting news like this and having to assimilate for the rest of the day, because that's emotionally exhausting. It'd be a good time to suggest to the higher ups that everyone should have the day off. it'd be a good time to
Yeah. Yeah.
check in and ask
Yep. Yep.
if
Yep.
you
Yep.
need a
Yep.
meal. Don't nobody feel like cooking today. I know I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
This is what
tired.
we were talking about
You
when we
know,
were
we moms,
saying,
we're moms, we got kids. I got a teenager. I got a teenage boy who remembers um, Tamir Rice,
yeah,
who remembers all of these names, and then he comes in and he hears what the conversations I'm having. They walk in on us, Linda, when we're
yeah,
teaching,
yes, yes,
and then
yes,
they go, "What just happened?" Oh, when your teenager is saying, "I'm not surprised," as a first
yeah,
reaction, we don't have time to be shock and awe and grief because it happens so much to us.
yeah,
But this was the one that we thought, because so many of us were advocating, so many of us were fighting, so many of us were speaking up, speaking our truth. We actually all thought that this would be different.
yeah, and
So we were gaslit.
yeah. Oh my gosh,
We were
if this is
talking about
not
that
the
in one of my
finest
workshops
example.
today. This is the best example of being gaslit. So when you read quotes that we post here and we say black women get gaslit into silence, when we say that the way white men treat white women is the way white women treat women of color, we have all been gaslit because we all really thought they were going to do something. They were like, no, we fooled you.
Period.
But you know what? As my mom would say, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. I will not be fooled by this
Period.
government anymore.
Because again, how many are we in? And there has not been one single case of actual justice. And I'm starting to use that word with quotation marks because whatever the ideal of justice is doesn't apply to the people who created it. It wasn't for them, it's for
Exactly.
us. Justice is to keep us shut down
Right.
and keep us locked up, but not for them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I feel like there is going to
That's
be a
opportunity.
black exodus from this country, as there should be. Y'all know I got my Get to Grenada
Mm-hmm.
fund.
Man,
Because we're not safe here.
we are not safe. We're not.
Our kids are not.
So the black sit begins. We're not safe here. Our U.S. education system, yep, big change is coming.
So that feeling, y'all, the lack of words, I'm not sure you said it well, like unplugging is probably a good idea. Even stuff like social media, we've talked about this before. We don't control these platforms. We don't own these platforms. They will filter who sees what, who gets what notifications. I'm like, even that, there's certain communications that's going to happen moving forward that will not happen in platforms that are owned by people who push these agendas. Because that would be stupid.
Yep.
That would be stupid.
Exactly.
So change is coming, y'all.
It is.
It's just going to look different than we hoped.
Yep. And as long as we gonna feel this one out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I say it. Go ahead.
It's like, I don't even have words.
Yeah.
All I know is that if you are a black or brown woman and you live in New York City, a Good Place Therapy and Consulting has some scholarships available in partnership with Brown Sisters Speak, so that you can really start to post-process this. Sister Circle begins. It was supposed to begin in October, but guess what? Sister Circle is this Friday at 4 p.m. if you are a black or brown woman needing a support group. And then the therapy stipend applications will be opening up next week. So
I'm actually going to be in Sister Circle. I need it.
yay!
Girl,
Come to Sister Circle.
I'm like, today, if we can't do nothing else, find a way to lift each other up. This sucks. It hurts.
Yeah, we got to prioritize our mental health. That is what the call is. I think prioritizing our mental health. Yep. So the cop is being charged for creating harm for the neighbors.
Just the one.
Pray for Breonna Taylor.
Pray for
just one though,
yeah.
not three.
Pray for her mother. Pray for her family. Y'all,
Pray for her
she's a
family.
movement. Don't get me wrong. I hate that it has to be on somebody's life that we form these movements, but she is somebody's sister. She is somebody's daughter. You know, this isn't just a
Mm-hmm.
headline for them. This is a really hard reality, and they'll never live it down.
Nope. You know, I just hope that my son's generation are the ones that rewrite the textbooks and are the ones that call the martyrs, the ancestors who died, who were murdered for I just hope I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, I guess that's my cue to
All right,
leave.
honey. Thank you for having me.
I have Thanks for hanging out. If you are going to be part of the workshop with General Assembly, we'll see you guys at 3:00. Other than that, check your privileges. We'll be back online supposedly Friday. We'll see
Yeah,
how we
hello. How
feel.
about that?
Also, remember, we don't own this platform. Click the link in bio. Sign up for the mailing list so you can get your weekly updates. All right,
All right,
guys.
girl. Bye, y'all.
Peace. Thank you guys for watching the live number 2. I'm actually done for today. I'm getting ready to see my friend Mitzi for a safely social distancing. And I'm out. Take care.